Hello! Welcome to a big old Lividian Press unboxing featuring a whole bunch of Lividian Press titles, all of which are paperback. Excited to dive into this. We have all sorts of stuff in here. Excuse me while I fight with my box for a second, because the packet of ARCs is wrapped in plastic, so it was stuck. Paperback haul. That, my friends, is awesome. We got a whole pack of ARCs featuring Leviathan by Robert McCammon, The Grownup by Gillian Flynn, Prayer for the Dying by Stewart O'Nan, Mystery Walk, Robert McCammon, as well as the paperback editions of Seven Shades of Evil and Detours, the new paperback edition of that collection as published by Cemetery Dance. So Detours was published as a hardcover years back, like oversized hardcover, and I want to say that was signed by. Was it signed by William Peter Blatty? I know Blatty did like an introduction to it, I believe. Could be completely mistaken there, but I know it was signed by like Brian James Freeman, I believe Richard Chizmar. Maybe not Richard Chizmar. No, it was just edited by Brian James Freeman. So, anyways, let's take a look at what our haul contains here. Very excited. We're going to start with the trade ones, which are the ones you can actually go out and buy if you wanted. Which we have, of course, Seven Shades of Evil, Stories from Matthew Corbett's World by Robert McCammon. This is the new trade paperback edition, which it was previously published, was this last year? Last year in hardcover with a slightly different Vincent Chong cover artwork. This is, that one I believe had different scenes depicted on the front, such as Night Ride, and you have Matthew Corbett looking up towards the camera. This is him pensively looking down. But it's a pretty solid collection. It was very much to hold people over until the publication of Leviathan, which it did. It did pretty nicely. I did do a full book review on the channel of this collection if you wanted to know more about the stories inside. One thing to note is that with the trade paperback, it is a smaller font type, a smaller font size than the hardcover. Actually, I want to say it's smaller than the trade hardcover, which is already a small. It might be the same size as the trade hardcover, but it's smaller than the signed limited edition, which had a decent reading size. So if you're looking for font that isn't small, you might have to go with the signed limited edition. It's decent sized for that one. So that is Seven Shades of Evil. Next up, we have Detours. Like I said, this was originally a hardcover many, many years back. Cover artwork, I know this paperback's been in the works for a while, because you can see the cover artwork was done by Kate Freeman, Brian James Freeman's wife, back in 2020. Sorry, that does say 2024. I know he had said, it's signed by Brian James Freeman. Thank you, Brian. He had said in his post that Kate had submitted the design many years ago. Presumably it must have been back in 2019 when it was originally published. I thought it was older than that. I thought we were like maybe 10 years ago. I guess 2019. She had created the design way back when. They just never thought it was going to get used, and then here it is getting used on the paperback. One thing to note is I've heard that some of the copies were misprinted and didn't have the red printed on it. So if you bought it from like Amazon, for example, and it doesn't look like this cover, or it looks like this cover, but you may be missing a letter from various names because there's no red arrow, that's a defect. You should get that replaced. So anyways, Detours, I believe these are stories of what could have been, or it's just kind of a collection of various ones. Oh, Dean Koontz was originally published by the Charnel House, A Beast Child. Interesting. Introduction by Brian James Freeman. So maybe it's not. I mean, what am I thinking of that had an introduction by William Peter Blatty? Blatty does have a piece in here. I know Blatty contributed an introduction to Walking with Ghosts, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Oh, this is interior artwork by Glenn Chadbourne. Did it have artwork in the hardcover? I don't remember. Oh, it has artwork by lots of people, not just Glenn Chadbourne. That just happened to be the one that I opened to. Okay, so we've got all sorts of artwork. That's nice. I got to pull out the hardcover. I got to confirm if there was artwork in that. If there's not, then that's really cool. Nice little addition to the... there we go. We got Mark Edward Geyer, Alex McVeigh, Don Albright, Will Renfro, Aaron S. Wells, Glenn Shadbourne, Jill Bauman, Keith Minion, Chris Odgers, and Stephen C. Gilbert. It does say interior artwork, copyright 2019, so the hardcover must have had the artwork as well. But anyways, if you want to pick up a copy of Detours, you no longer have to go to the secondary market to search for the signed hardcover edition. You can now go and buy the trade paperback, which I believe is available directly through Cemetery Dance. You can also probably buy it, like I said, through Amazon. I know some people bought it through Amazon, and they were the people that got the misprinted cover. So I'm not going to showcase all the artwork in here, but that's very cool. Anyways, up next, let's look at the Ghost of Christmas Future, more accurately, the future of Lividian Publications, featuring 4 titles that are upcoming from them. These are all ARCs, advanced reader copies that I received through my Patreon subscription through Lividian. So, in some of the cases, the titles are already for sale, or in several cases, sold out for the limited editions. Leviathan is, I believe, sold out for the numbered edition, but there is a trade edition that is currently currently available. If you want a signed copy, I believe Alabama Booksmith still has some copies of the signed trade edition, the hardcover, of course, that you can get through their websites. I'll put a link in the description below. This is so Leviathan. I did do an unboxing just the other day of the trade hardcover edition, which is the same as this edition. Although this being paperback, that trade hardcover was signed by McCammon, courtesy of Alabama Booksmith. This is the final tale of the Matthew Corbett series. Or I should say the final novel. I don't want to say final tale, because I suppose you could always go back and write more short stories. But the final novel, this is the conclusion to Matthew Corbett's story. And I am not ready for it to end. But this is jumping up on my reading list. That way I can see how it ends for myself. Anyways, next up, we have The Grownup by Gillian Flynn, which is getting, I think this one is still available. This one's getting the limited edition treatment. It is disgustingly cheap. Like, it's $100, which seems expensive, but you gotta factor in, this is a cloth-bound limited edition with a slipcase. Like, I don't know how Brian James Freeman is able to publish this at that price. I mean, like, absolute kudos to him. It's incredible. So this is a novella that was originally published in Rogues, the collection that was edited by George R.R. Martin and Gardner Dozois. Originally published as What Do You Do? Okay, so it was originally What Do You Do? And then it got turned into the novella. It's an introduction by Joe Hill. So Joe Hill will be signing the limited edition. And the other one's all the small font type. You can see here we got big font type, because this is very much a short story / short novella that is getting the limited edition treatment. So you got to, space that out. Plenty of artwork by Erin S. Wells, though. I'm liking it. I believe this is the story of a fake medium. She very much is knows how to read people, and so she's a palm reader. And she is hired to investigate a haunted house, or a haunted son, I should say. I believe that the son is being haunted. And sounds very Henry James-esque, think like Turning of the Screw. So copies of this are still available. I'm excited to see this edition once we get the hardcover copy. Also, I would love if Gillian Flynn would publish something else, because this is like 10 years ago? It's been a long time. Yeah, 10 years ago, 2014. It's been a long time since she's published something. I think the last thing she did was she did the script for Widows, the film. Anyways, up next we have A Prayer for the Dying by Stewart O'Nan, which has not been announced by Lividian yet. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be one of those, hey, we have it in stock, go buy it now type deals. I guess it's going to be $125, but it's going to be signed and slipcased, incredible deal there. This is the second O'Nan title they've done after The Night Country. I don't think they did any other Stewart O'Nan titles. I mean, technically, Brian James Freeman has published a bunch of O'Nan. He's done. He also did Faithful, which was co-written by O'Nan and Stephen King for the Books to Benefit many years back. Prayer for the Dying, I believe, is kind of a plague western. But anyways, I'm excited to check it out. It looks like a very short read. I mean, this is actually decent sized font. It's not crammed like you get for the trade editions of the McCammon titles. You know, it's able to space it out a little bit. So, but it looks to be a very quick read. What is this, like 200 pages at max, at most? So, as I mentioned, this is not, as of me recording this right now, on Friday, this is not available for sale yet. I imagine once it does, it'll probably sell out quickly. A lot of these Lividian titles do sell out pretty quickly. Who did the artwork? Is this Francois Vaillancourt artwork? Because it looks like Francois Vaillancourt artwork. Francois Vaillancourt artwork. That's awesome. So yeah, it'll be a nice little affordable edition as well. Finally, last but not least, I don't think this has gone on sale yet either. Mystery Walk by Robert McCammon. This has been announced. At least it had been announced to his Patreon subscribers. So I believe it's been publicly announced. If it hasn't, surprise, Mystery Walk. One of the 2 remaining McCammon titles that hadn't received limited edition treatment. The other one being Mine. So Mine being the name of the novel, not mine is like my personal novel, of course. Mystery Walk, I believe, has to deal with it's almost like a coming-of-age story, from what I've heard. Dealing with a young child who has a remarkable gift, and he has to learn to harness this gift to kind of help others. I believe the titular Mystery Walk is like the path that he's going to take through his life. Ben Baldwin artwork, so that's pretty cool. Who did, was it Francois who did the artwork for Gone South? I want to say it was Francois. It almost looks like Francois's artwork, stylistically there, but that is Ben Baldwin. This is a pretty hefty novel from the looks of it. I mean, this is a paperback, obviously. And, was there a price on the back? $150? I mean, for $150, you get a signed, slip-cased Robert McCammon title. You can't go wrong there. The crazy thing is, for some reason, a bunch of Lividian titles wind up being cheaper on the secondary market. I know with the Night Country of Stewart O'Nan, it dropped in price. There's also, I think the Bentley Little one, The Store, kind of dropped in price in the secondary market, which is pretty wild, pretty crazy. Scott Carson. I think there were 2 Scott Carson novels that they've done. How many novels has Scott Carson written? I mean, Scott Carson, as under his actual name, Michael Carita, has written a bunch of novels under the Scott Carson name. I'm not too sure how many he's written, but it looks like Lividian likes giving the special edition treatment to them, which I'm totally fine with. So anyways, the McCammon ones don't really drop in price, though. At least not Gone South hasn't. I know you could probably get copies for cheap for King of Shadows, but I mean, you know, the McCammon ones, those are really popular. I don't believe it has gone on sale yet, and it will sell out quickly once it does go on sale. So be sure to subscribe to their newsletter if you want to get, you know, notification for when that goes on sale. Or what you should do, and I cannot highly recommend this enough, you should subscribe to Brian James Freeman's Patreon. You don't have to do a fancy level. I do a fancy level in order to get all the goodies here. You only have to subscribe to the lowest level. The lowest level gets, I think it's like $5 a month. It gets you two Brian James Freeman chapbooks a year. But more importantly, I mean, those are great to begin with. More importantly, it gives you access to the advance notice of Lividian titles or sale titles or other publisher grab bags, all sorts of stuff. Which, I mean, the amount of money you can save on the grab bags alone is well worth the price of admission to the Patreon. I cannot highly recommend that. I cannot recommend that enough. So anyways, check out Lividian Publications. They are kicking ass. Brian James Freeman is one of the best in the business. You can buy a trade copy of Seven Shades of Evil or Detours wherever books are sold, one being from Lividian, one being from Cemetery Dance. The other titles are either sold out or not for sale yet, but it's something you do not want to miss out on. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Please check out Lividian Publications. Check out Brian James Freeman's Patreon, and we'll see you around next time.